Join us on the 8th Pan-African Pyramid Global Awards 2025 and 11th Anniversary Bonfire Dinner, recognizing and awarding Pan-Africans who selflessly fought and defended the rights and freedoms of the black race globally on 30th August 2025 at Fair Hotel from 2 p.m. Dress code, strictly pub t-shirts or traditional stroke African wear. Theme, One Africa, One Passport. United States of Africa, USA. Book your dinner card now. Table for 8, 3 million. Platinum, 1 million. Gold, 500K. Silver, 400K. Bronze, 150K. Call 0757 342317 or 0782 342317 to book your dinner card online now. Umuntu ngumuntu ngabantu. I am because we are. Come, let's rekindle our roots. Africa, don't agonize, organize. Powered by Fairway Hotel, NBS TV, Afro Mobile, Lupa Radio Foundation, JJK, The Spy Uganda, Detective UG.
I think funding political parties is not as criminal. Yeah, it's not as criminal as funding Pineti. Funding political parties is not as criminal as funding some woman in a Tiak Sugar. Funding political parties is not as criminal as giving money to a foreign company called Rocco. So there are things that Mr. Museveni has done which are actually criminal as far as Ugandan interests from an African perspective is. And I don't know what explanation Mr. Museveni would give that to any Pan-Africanist forum. But that said also, I was genuinely shocked that
Take some coffee, my
fantastic
brother,
agencies,
as you get shocked.
fantastic agencies like yours.
Coffee. Is there some coffee?
Yeah, I do. Thank you.
As you get shocked, take some coffee. Yeah, the Spy Uganda, the Spy Television, Detective UG. Andrew Irumba live show, and my name is Andrew Irumba Katusabe. My elder brother, Joseph Ochieno, the man from UPC, I think a UPC member for life. He is the spokesperson, permanent spokesperson for Obote alive and Obote dead. Joseph Ochieno, you're welcome.
It's a pleasure. It's good to be here with you. I am a permanent spokesperson for
a living Obote and a dead Obote.
I will speak for old Milton Obote until I meet him in heaven to report.
Are you sure there is heaven that you go and meet?
God willing, there will be a heaven that I know. But I know people have different views, and I know Pan-Africans particularly also have a view of this heaven. But good enough. I think everybody else believes that there's another or another.
But according to what I hear people talk about Obote, do you think he's in heaven? Do you think you will find him in heaven? Because depending on what I hear people talk about him, he must be in hell, not in heaven.
Don't scare people in power today, man. And don't scare Amin's family. Look, the Obote I knew. There's really no circumstances under which he would be anywhere else except heaven.
Hey.
And the Obote I knew who gave his life to Christ before his death, completely saved. You know,
he died a saved man.
The Obote died a saved man. There's no way in which
he was saved.
Obote would be anywhere else except heaven. But also for Obote detractors and anti-Ugandanists, there is not a single thing that Obote did between independence and his death that anybody would consider a major sin, you know, and certainly publicly as Obote, the official person that I follow. In his private life, I don't know what he did. But as president, there is only one thing that Obote regrets and regretted publicly. Telling your brother Andrew, the other Andrew Mwenda.
Andrew Mwenda.
Yes, on another program. And that is that Obote regrets the incidents of 1966. He regrets.
He used to host him on KFM.
Yes.
I think it was the hot seat, something like that.
Yes, and
from Lusaka, Zambia. Yes, I used to listen.
You used to listen.
Yeah, I used to tune in.
Great show.
Yeah.
Old Milton, great man.
Every time man would be hosting the man from Lusaka, Zambia, everybody would be tuned in. You're driving in your car, you have to put on KFM. And at that time, I think it was called Monitor FM. Monitor FM.
Yeah,
it changed to KFM, but it was Monitor FM by those years.
At the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 1966 was an incident that was not started by Obote. Obote was merely the executive prime minister. He was confronted as a government by a Buganda kingdom that wanted to break away from central government and that one tried to make life impossible for central government to operate with Buganda as part of them. And the contradiction was the fact that the king of Buganda was the titular president of the Republic of Uganda.
Titular president?
Yes. And so that was a contradiction. Matters in Mengo got out of hand, hence what we now call the 1966 crisis. Obote did not send police, he did not send soldiers. When eventually soldiers led by Idi Amin went, it was, as a last resort, to come a situation that had gone out of hand. But the situation started by the kingdom of Uganda. He regrets
that?
Yes.
Okay.
He regrets that.
Okay, now, my question number 2. Since you have now put Obote in heaven, do you think his son, Juma Kena, the one we are living with here, when God calls him, he will meet his father and you will have coffee in heaven together, three of you?
The spy Uganda. You're exciting me about Obote so that you're preparing ground for his son.
Obote is in heaven. You at you're going in heaven. His son, are you going to meet in heaven plus his wife one day? And then you have a cup of coffee like you used to have in Lusaka, Zambia?
I hope so, but I'm not his son's spokesperson. I'm the spokesperson of Milton Obote.
For Milton Obote.
And so I will speak for him authoritatively. But for Jimmy, I don't know what Jimmy does in the morning. I don't know what he does in the afternoon. Politically, I don't know what he does. Just like I say that politically, I don't know who advised him to do the messy stuff that he did at the party headquarters. And I don't know who advised him to do what he's doing now. And politically at the moment, I don't know who his advisors are. But I'm privileged enough to say safely that I was one of the advisors to Milton Obote, and one of the people whom Obote would ask for an opinion. Jimmy has not asked me for his opinion for the first time in a very long time, possibly since we returned here 20 years ago.
Okay, now that drives us direct into the topic of the day. Comrade Joseph Ochieno, my elder, I think last week, court gave a ruling, and in that ruling there were explicit orders. Juma Kena, it came to be now public information that he had wanted to stand again on UPC ticket for presidency illegally. Then also he had wanted again to extend his arm to continue holding on to the UPC office as party president illegally. And so court came and gave very self-explanatory court ruling, and I will read verbatim here a few of them. I will not read the entire ruling, but I just read where our interest lies now. Order of the court. Therefore, in accordance with section 40 and 42 of the Judicature Act, Cap 16, I order as follows. Number 1, that the nomination of Honorable Jima Akena Michael Akena, Honorable Jimmy James Michael Akena, for the office of Party President of the Uganda People's Congress UPC for the period 2025 to 2030 is illegal and therefore null and void. That's number 2. Number 1. Number 2, that an order of statutory is hereby issued quashing the decision by Uganda People's Congress UPC to nominate Honorable Jimmy James Michael Ochieno for the office of party president for the period 2025-2030. Number 3, that an order of injunction is issued restraining Uganda People's Congress UPC from further nominating Honorable Jimmy James Michael Ochieno as a candidate for the office of party president for the period 2025-2030. That each party shall bear its own costs. It is so ordered. Signed, Bernard Namanya, Judge, on 18th July 2025. Delivered by email.
Yeah.
You have heard?
Yes.
So let me begin with asking, what does this ruling mean to Jimmy Ochieno, the person, and Jimmy Ochieno, the president of the UPC party, and the party leadership itself going forward? What does it mean? When you get this, what does it teach you? What does it show you? What does it direct you? What do you understand?
The unfortunate thing is that I'm not Jimmy.
No, I'm asking you as an elder of UPC.
I know. And you'll see why. Because the meanings of this are very apparent, very clear, and very definitive. That in the unlikely event that Jimmy was the party president, and in the unlikely event that Jimmy's leadership was not disputed, that the sensible thing that Jimmy would have done on the basis of what that means would have been to, with humility, accept the ruling, which by and large he seems to have done so. I said he seems to.
Seems to?
Yes.
Came and he spoke openly and said, I will not
so I'll come to that. I'll come to that. Seemingly accept that. And then number 2, accept and respect it. Number 2, to very urgently seek to review his position with a view to very quickly handing over to his vice president, if he has one.
Who is his vice president?
I don't know, you know. And then 3, that he would be having conversation with leaders and elders like myself for further advice, further support, to calm him down and to give him opportunity to find a retirement either in Maruzi farm, so that he is able also to hold a stick and farm, like,
like President Museveni.
Mr. Museveni is able to hold a
Not
stick.
Not Mr. His Excellency President Museveni.
Mr. Museveni.
His Excellency. I am a Mr. You are Mr. The President is the fountain of honor, so he's addressed as His Excellency.
Unfortunately for him, I don't know whether he even has a master's degree, so maybe if he had a title, I would call him doctor, or maybe he had a doctorate degree, I would call him Dr. Museveni. But he's Mr. Museveni. As far as the president is concerned, I contest Mr. Museveni's position as much as I contest Jimmy's. But in the event that I'm able to write a letter to Mr. Museveni, I would call him Mr. President. You know, and in the event that I met him today, possibly actually I would call him hello sir, and possibly I would say hello Mr. President, depending on what the environment is. But I can call Mr. Museveni, until cows come home, without being any disrespectful at all. And in UPC we are not disrespectful at all.
No, bring. Thank you.
So.
Thank you.
So that's the situation. And like the humility as granted by the people hosting us, including giving us fantastic
Thank you, Satellite Hotel.
Cheers. Courtesy Satellite Hotel.
Hey.
And fantastic people, including the frontline service people.
You know that daughter of yours is an artist.
She's an artist, isn't she?
Apart from being working here, she's an artist. What's your name?
For music?
No, what's your name? Your name? Apio.
Yeah, Victoria.
Apio Victoria.
Yeah.
She's an artist.
She's an artist.
She sings very well.
Her name is Angel Vix.
Angel Vix.
Yeah.
And she sings in your language. You see, she's a Pan-African. She wants to promote her language.
You can see how rich UPC is.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah, now you've taken her to UPC. She's a Ugandan.
UPC is only for Ugandans, by the way. We used to have thank you very much indeed. We used to have, thank you. We used to have friends who are friends of UPC, who are not necessarily Ugandans. We only also had members of UPC who were British at the time because of the colonial arrangement. So that is the confinement of the membership. So beyond that, all UPC members are Ugandans. So she's
man, you like UPC. You can't even force people to belong there.
It is the future. By the way,
automatically.
By the way, I like your dressing. I like the way you've also dressed me. I like your fantastic mic. But I like your beads. I like you here with.
I got this one from Burkina Faso. Traore, President Traore gave me. He gave me a cape. He gave me this, and he gave me some of these.
A privileged man.
Traore. I was with him for 1 week. We talked about Pan-Africanism. Actually, he wants this Africa to be one country. Now, these other places, Uganda, the 54 could be provinces. But you've been in America, you've been in the UK. There are these, states. America, they have these states. Isn't it? California state, this and that.
When I say...
So Traore wants this Africa to be one country, and these others can be provinces with their heads. You can be a governor of Uganda, you can be a governor of Congo, you can be a governor of Rwanda. The president should be one. There should be one currency. This is what exactly Gaddafi wanted to do. And the white men killed him. One currency, one country.
This is what Milton Obote...
you haven't get brought in Milton Obote.
No, because they're real. This is what Milton Obote... Milton Obote, Julius Nyerere, Kwame Nkrumah, as the early founding parents
of
Pan-Africanism, had pushed for.
Yes.
These people's leaderships were just interrupted. I am delighted that we now have emergent younger African leaders who are reviewing the state of the continent. And as part of their review, they're able to take onto these foundation things. So I am invoking the foundations by endorsing not only the position of President Traore, but rather to emphasize to young Africans that this is a journey that we've been with for a very long time. And it's unfortunately a journey that has faltered up and down. And so with young Traore at the helm at the moment, younger Africans ought to take it much more serious. So your program of the SPY and your programs from a Pan-Africanist perspective ought to be joined by people who are participating with us in this thing, so that we're able to go ahead and speed this thing up and see who really is a true African, who is a true Africanist, and who are these true people who will be able to make the realization of the dream of Traore, as founded by those founding parents of ours, a reality. I really hope it happens in my lifetime and soon.
We hope so. Okay, let's go back to our UPC politics now.
So
we were on Jimmy Ochieno and so on.
Jimmy had defied the constitution of the party in 2015 by having been nominated by majority districts, conferences, usurped the power of the president, who was Olaro Tunu, invited delegates to a consultative meeting, as he called it, and they turned that consultative meeting into a delegates conference illegally, unconstitutionally on the basis of UPC constitution, and they declared him president. This matter was challenged in court. But while away from court, I am saying this Jimmy Ochieno is the person who ought to have known the constitution of the party and the political implication of the decision he was making at the time. And so it's unfortunate he defied that. But even after defying that, and even after court ruling against him, he decided to ignore that. That is 2015. Now, after 2015 and from 2015-16 to date, we reached 2020, where a court of appeal ruled, because he appealed to that very definitively, and asked that fresh elections for the party take place. Jimmy again defied that. But before that ruling, that court of appeal had said that Jimmy's delegates conference that he had prepared on a Saturday, the 1st of August, with the Court of Appeal sitting on a Wednesday like today, actually, should not proceed. He defied that and continued with his illegitimate, illegal delegates conference of 1st August 2020. In fact, that is the delegates conference that he continued with until more recently. So if you ask me the implications for Jimmy, I'll tell you that maybe the Jimmy of that track record, it may mean nothing, but I hope not. But if you ask me of what it should mean to Jimmy, it should be a humbling experience for Jimmy to say that, well, he has been defying all the courts, from the High Court, Court of Appeal to the Supreme Court. He has been defying them, one. Two, he has been breaking the party constitution systematically for the last 10 years. And three, by the way, there's something else. An aspect of the party constitution is that the delegates conference that he's talking about coming soon, it used to be called annual delegates conference. So in good times before Museveni broke our economy and broke our system here, parties, UPC for example, particularly, we could afford to have annual delegates conferences. Partly because of expense and confusion, the party constitution was amended to say that, well, we should have at least 2 delegates conferences in 5 years. Meaning you can have 5 if you can afford it, but a minimum of 2. Meaning if you don't hold 2, you would have breached the party constitution. So from 2015, Jimmy did not hold a single delegates conference until that illegitimate one of 2020. Until
2020.
Yeah, and then they elected themselves, again, contrary to court ruling. Since that 2020 thing, nothing has happened until today. Now that, again, the NAP took him, and the outcome of what you know, he's now calling for extraordinary general meeting. So Jimmy has basically been breaking the rules, the internal rules of the party and the laws of the land. What am I talking about? There is a sense of arrogance a bit. There is a sense of impunity. But I feel also, unfortunately, there's a little sense of entitlement. And I think it's sort of bad manners. But Jimmy is a very decent guy. I asked him...
Jimmy is a very decent guy.
Yeah, I asked him, he's a good brother of mine, but I asked him that for the first time, whatever it may be, that he respects the provisions of the court, returns to the realities, comes to a settlement with a NAP and with all of us, including the fact that I'm actually the substantive leader of the party, so that we have the conversation going forward.
You said Jimmy is a fantastic guy.
Yeah.
But then you said Jimmy has been defying the constitution of UPC and the rules of this country, this land, since 2015. Aren't you contradicting yourself, my brother?
No, because you can have...
You cannot say this guy is a fantastic guy, and then on the other hand, he has been suppressing your rights for the last 10 years. How does that make him a fantastic guy? I think you're trying to sanitize something.
It's Nelson Mandela who told you and told the world that people can be taught, and in fact people are taught to hate, which is very sad. And since people can be taught to hate, and are predominantly usually taught to hate, there's no reason why we cannot teach love. I'm telling you about the Jimmy Ochieno that I knew before. A decent guy, a decent colleague of mine. The one I knew, Lusaka. Yes. And the one I came back with here. Jim and I were part of the delegation sent by Jimmy's father and president, Milton Obote, to return to Uganda. I headed that delegation. It was a political delegation, but following a legal ruling, a court ruling that returned multipartyism. So since we've been following that since then, the last person I would expect to breach the UPC constitution and to go contrary to the provisions of the national courts would be Jimmy. So I'm saying, away from that Jimmy, what the implication? He's a decent person.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah, so I really hope that common sense can prevail so that we're able to review that. But finally, particularly because their preparation for delegates conference was based on an illegality. Even Enap, who stood with him, who's a young lawyer, a decent guy also, he knew very well that he was participating in an illegality with Jimmy. But of course, you can see how politics can be played, and I don't fault him that very much. So that helped them to up the reality that exposed Jimmy and left him dry. Pending that is the matter that I have in court, as I told you, which is, I hope, disposed of soon, and that is a judicial review for the elections, following the election that took place, which I won, and that there's a declaration that I won the leadership of the party, and therefore that I'm president, and that at the same time, side by side with that, that a permanent injunction is issued on Jimmy, and Jimmy does not carry on as if party leader the party headquarters. But once that is done, I hope that we're able to come together and rally, and I'm able to have a conversation, including giving people a second chance, so that we're able to rebuild this party together, and so that after rebuilding this party together, we're able to re-energize the young, fantastic young members of us like this, and review people like yourselves, impress you guys that without joining us as a political party, we can work together to teach others what democracy is all about, and go ahead and teach Mr. Museveni what it is to govern.
Mr. Museveni?
Yeah, of what it is, how to govern. Because we delivered before, we taught them what to do, and then remind him that, well, for the 8 years we governed, the foundation we put for this country, he's not managed it in 40 years, and even if we gave him another 50, he would not do anything with it except to sink it more.
Comrade Joseph Ochieno.
Yes, sir.
Jimmy Ochieno.
Thank you for giving me coffee.
Thank you. Jimmy Ochieno's response to this latest ruling,
yes, sir,
was reflective of he's a fantastic guy. Yeah, because he accepted that. This is me. You don't take tea. You don't take milk, so you can change the cup. This is me.
Are you going to take off also?
Eh?
We're going to take off.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Just.
You know, all our milk all our cows were taken by NRA rustlers, not Karamojong, NRA rustlers. So in Tororo, and part of Teso, our cows were taken by NRA.
Even those who didn't have cows now are claiming that their cows were taken away. But let's go back. I don't want to be derailed from the topic. Now,
yes, sir.
You simply described Jim Ochieno as a fantastic guy. And I think I want to believe you because when the ruling came out, he accepted. Another person would have still tried to play politics here and there to still cling on to power. And then the other side, on the other part, you said also, if I heard you clearly, he has been having some sense of entitlement. Don't you think he is correct because this is his father's foundation? His father started something. Don't you think his family...
Journalists can be cheeky. Eh?
Don't you think his family should be... It is in order for his family not to be kicked out completely? To at least have some sense of entitlement? Yes. If you started something here and left it, and then other people came out and kicked out all your children, wouldn't they be correct to fight alongside to ensure that they keep along?
You know, I'm a student of language.
I know.
You can interpret entitlement in any way you wish and you like. And I'm not going to dispute many of the interpretation. But I did not suggest that the entitlement meant that. Okay, I did not suggest. But you're free to make your own conclusion. But what is more important is the fact that calling Jimmy nice and him seemingly conceding. But he seemed to concede that he's not going to contest. That's all he said. He's not going to contest.
Sure.
And number two, he seemed to say that, well, I'm excited. You know, you people with the Ochieno have been saying I'm not president. But since it has been recognized that I've served terms, yes, I've been president. So the nice Jimmy should be content that a certain section of the High Court has recognized him as a president of some time. So yeah, he can have that on record. So it goes in his
former president of UPC.
As a former president of UPC. You know, for legal purposes, you know, and for posterity. I was once upon a time president. Did you see this court ruling? And then he put it on the wall. Beyond that, you would not be saying, you come, let's face one another at Kamdidi, let's go for war. And which is sort of the tone that he presents at the same time. And then number three, you know, the preparation for going to Kamdini seems to be preparation for war rather than preparation for concession.
Hey!
And I'm saying war, political war.
Yeah, now my wires are connecting differently now because when he admitted that I concede,
Yeah.
I thought the meeting he hastily called at Kona Kamding. Of all presidents in Uganda,
Was to go and hand over, eh?
Kona Kamding was to go and have a peaceful dialogue with the members and see his exit, peaceful exit. Wasn't that the case?
I wish it were. And you're absolutely right because you raised something else. Of all places,
Kona Kamding.
Kona Kamdin. I have been going to Gulu. I came from the north the other day. I have never been invited to Kona Kamdin in that hotel. Turns out, I'm told allegedly that that facility belongs to Jimmy's domestic family.
Hey,
Yeah,
the hotel.
I'm told.
So he wanted to host you at his home.
To host those guys at his wife's premises. That's why I call it domestic, because if it was the other, if it was a kokoro, that is that's a national ancestral shrine. And if it was at Kololo, where Mama Mira is fantastic mother of the nation, Mama Mira, bless you always.
Sure.
You know, if it was there, it would be an extra. It would be something different. But Kamdin Corner, not Liantonde, not in Tungamo. Not in Matuga, where Endere used to throw bombs at people.
Not Gulu, not Lira.
Mbale. But he said, yes, delegates conferences have been held in Gulu. That is true. But Kamdin is no Gulu. And Kamdin is no Mbale. Kamdin is no Mbarara, surely.
Or even Kampala. What's wrong with having it in Kampala?
Particularly because it's an emergency thing, you know. You now have to take away your whole entourage, just like Museveni, who takes over Kololo when he's passing. So Jimmy is now going to take his headquarters and everything else to Kamdin within a few days to Kamdin Corner. And people go to struggle all the way from Kabale, Kisoro, Roshorosa, Katuna, all the way to Kamdin Corner at some joint there. Yeah, so come and we face each other. Come and face the delegates.
And you're facing him from home ground. You know the advantage of the home ground.
Once in a while I support Arsenal, and so Haji Kazim Braini now has gone ahead and sacked Enap. So that Enap is no longer a presidential candidate. So that's not really the spirit we're talking about. Enap is not a presidential candidate because he was irregularly nominated, number one, but also two, now Enap has gone ahead and misbehaved. Why was he issuing declarations? So if you're sacking Enap for issuing false declarations, as I said, Jimmy has permanently, issued false declarations, both of which are illegal, but it is. So no, I think this in many parts semantics, but it's something in a way to come. But I just learned also this morning that Enap has also since gone ahead. I didn't know actually. Gone ahead and declared himself, not only declared himself president, but sworn himself as president. So he calls himself
Enap.
Yes.
Sworn himself.
From
where?
From somewhere there. I don't know. He's a lawyer, So people
who presided over that?
So people who sworn themselves as president is Jim Akena, Dennis Enap, Peter Walubiri. Only poor Ochieno is the undeclared president who has opted, and I'm not going to go for a coup in any crude way. But I am the elected president of the party. But
when were you elected?
In 2020, definitively, convincingly. 2020, yes. I defeated Peter Walubiri convincingly. I defeated Dr. Dixon Opul and Dan Okello.
Makena didn't stand, but he remained.
Makena did not stand, but he remained in Uganda House. Because he remained in Uganda House. So that's the mess. So that's when the wings broke up. The wing of Akena remained in defiance of the court ruling. Walubiri's side organized elections, which was not conclusive. An election which I won, and Walubiri did not declare me, and then I went to court. That's sort of the mess in the party. The sooner that is resolved, surely the better. Final point. The elders of this party, founding elders, many of them are very miserable in the rural parts of Uganda, some of them 96, wherever. They're pained. But there is a particular category of the elders of the party, including some former ministers, whom I think many of them are staying on the fence too long, too much. I think they should come into rein us a little bit, so that
salvage the party.
So that we're able to salvage this party.
Now, my elder Joseph Ochieno, Jim Ochieno called for a meeting in a corner campaign. Were you invited?
In a corner? No.
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 Well, you were not invited.
No.
And you said you are the defunct president of UPC.
Yeah.
You said you were elected in 2020.
That's correct.
It means Jim Ochieno grabbed power from you.
No, Jim Ochieno grabbed power from Olara. And
No, what I'm saying, you leave out Olara now because he did not stand. 2020, it's you who stood.
No, but by the time Jim, to be fair to him, by the time Jim Ochieno was grabbing power in 2020, he was grabbing it from Walubiri because our election had not yet taken place.
So who had elected Walubiri?
Walubiri had been appointed by Joseph.
Not elected.
Oh, no, I'll tell you, and it's important, you're right. Walubiri took over from Joseph Bosa, who was an acting leader following the death of, Okay, Joseph Bosa was Olara Tunu's vice president. Olara Tunu, as our last elected president, sought not to serve 2 terms. And so
he left his
vice acting position, quite rightly. His wife, when he fell sick, to go for medical treatment abroad. That's an indictment on NRA, that people keep on going for medical treatment abroad. That's why we need the UPC, so that Mulago Hospital, where Jim Ochieno was born,
even during your time, people were going out.
Occasionally people did, But
so the answer is yes.
No, it was not a matter.
But that's for another day. Let's continue.
Yes. So Bosa dies while he was serving.
Acting
president. But he had written to allow Walubiri as acting leader while he was out of the country.
Hospitalized.
Hospitalized. So when he died, Walubiri continued illegally as the leader. And so therefore, Walubiri was the one obliged to organize elections. He did so, but like power of people who like shortcuts, he tested it, so he felt he should also contest. There was no reason for him to contest. So he contested with us, and I defeated him, and he decided not to let go. So he played the July coup style, and he played the Idi Amin style, and he played the Amin style.
Walubiri contested with you, and who else?
Dr. Dixon Opul and Dr. Dan Okello.
Where was Jimmy in this?
Jimmy had refused to participate in that.
So how did he come to be president when he had not contested in the party?
Because, as I said, he participated in another election of his, and that's why you said Jim Ochieno, who now says Museveni is disorganizing
disorganizing his party.
Jim Ochieno was controlling Uganda House almost certainly with the tacit support of Mr. Museveni. Jim Ochieno's impunity and indifference and almost a sense of entitlement and continuation in Uganda House. Many party members believe that he was shielded by Mr. Museveni. So it is rather rich for him
because the HC police was the one guarding the place, isn't it?
The police will not be bad guarding the party headquarters of the National Founding Party, but there is an element of the fact that there was an arrangement with the state. In any case, you can ask Beta Mongi.
So the man who protected him to be a leader for about 10 years illegally, he saw him the other day, now accusing him of sabotaging his leadership.
Yes. That is dirty politics for you, because proper politics will not be that.
And the man who appointed his wife to be minister, Betty Among,
yes,
he's through her, he's providing for the family. Now he's accusing him of sabotaging his well-being in this world.
Yes.
Is he still the nice Jim Ochieno that you talked about a few minutes ago? He's a nice guy.
Away from these devilish temptations of the devil, he's still my brother.
Hey. So you'll meet in heaven. Like I asked you earlier, you'll meet in heaven. Or you're not sure?
Wherever I meet Jimmy, it will be a fantastic brotherly relationship. As I said, heaven, I leave that to God. I leave that to God, yeah.
Now, you took Jim Ochieno to court.
Yes, I did, yes.
Has that ruling been heard?
That's an indictment on the judicial system in this country. That ruling hasn't been heard. That matter has gone through 4 judges over 4 years and 4 months.
4 years, 4 months.
It
has never been heard.
It has never been heard. It has appeared before 2 judges basically in passing. That matter is now before a Justice Musoke, Lady Justice Musoke, who has promised that she'll be hearing it or ruling on it on the 19th of August this year. So you can see how
but don't you think now
how joke it is, yes.
But don't you think now what you were looking for from the axe, the wind has helped you? I think you were contesting Jimmy Akena's leadership.
What a proverb. No.
What a proverb.
No, I was asking the court to issue a permanent injunction on Jimmy. The court has declined his nomination, which is a slightly different thing, but linked, yes. But most importantly, issued a temporary injunction on him. I am asking court for a permanent injunction on Jimmy, one, but also two, I'm asking for a declaration that I'm president. Formally, on the basis of...
so, court, this ruling now has helped you to deal with one aspect. Jimmy cannot stand now.
Partial, yes.
But now you want... your case now to declare you as the legally elected president.
That's correct. On the basis of the evidence which is there, which I won convincingly, yes.
Okay.
And if you're asking nice people, I hope court recognized that I've been very nice. I didn't go to the bush, and I did not...
Can you manage the bush now at your age?
Yeah?
Even if we okayed you to go to the bush, can you manage the bush?
Me?
You would go there for 3 days. The first day you're coming out. Andrew, where is water? I want to take water.
I have been...
I'm sure in your age you cannot take this river water. You'll have to go to the bush with mineral water. When it gets finished, you emerge from the bush, you come to the shop to buy another box of water.
People like Amama and Babazi, I'm told, they're not in the bush, they're in places in Nairobi, undermining the airport of UPC. So there's some of these people who are just boasting in London, eating sausages, bad-mouthing Uganda People's Congress and government of the Republic of Uganda, jealous about what UPC was doing, dubiously engaging with the likes of Gaddafi to give them crooked arms to come and throw bombs in the streets of Kampala. They were not necessarily in Luwero bushes. So you don't have to be in Luwero bushes. Yes.
So, what is the future of UPC leadership in consonance with this ruling now? When you look at the ruling, you look at you look at the developments of Jim Akena at Kona Kamding. What are you saying? What's the future?
This ruling is still an impasse. Still leaves us with an impasse. As I said, it does not address the substantive matter. In fact, it's good you raised that. It would appear that Justice Bernard Namanya had no clue of the pending case in court against Jimmy. Jimmy deliberately did not raise it, nor did Dennis Enap. Because once Enap raised that...
Just a minute. Hello, comrade. Good morning. My name is Andrew Rumba from the SPA Uganda. You're a long time Andrew Rumba here. You're somewhere. Hello? He has gone off. I wanted to talk to Fred Bill. I wanted to hear his opinion. He's in a meeting, I think. Continue.
But he's been sacked.
And that's what I wanted to ask.
And I've been with the same program with him this morning.
Okay. Yeah. I wanted to ask him, but I think he has lost my call. Did you talk to Honorable Dr. Larotun? Did you talk to him?
I talked to all leaders in UPC and all members in UPC.
When did you last talk to Otun?
I last talked to Olara Otunu during the Janani Lugum event, memory event.
That's a few months ago.
Yes, and it was a fantastic event, yes.
Did you discuss about your UPC leadership with him?
We didn't talk about the details, but he knows where we are, what the situation is.
Have you heard his opinion about this ruling and the future of UPC?
He's a very considered lawyer. Remember, he's a Kanyahamba product. So he's a very polished lawyer and polished diplomat. So he rarely comes out on some of these issues. But I think you're right that Olara and others ought to be much more interested, and they ought
to need his number.
They ought to help to provide more leadership on this thing. Yes.
You have his number here?
I'll give you his number. Yes.
You want to call him online? You want to call him on air so that we can hear from him. If you can give it to me. Sorry.
You want Olaro's number right now?
Yeah. I want to call him and hear his opinion on this very program. on this very program?
I hope I have it on this particular phone right now. But yeah. Yeah. So is Onara here?
Then also, you have Peter Walubiri's number?
Because of the telephone lines which went funny, I don't think I've restored his number on my numbers. You know what happened with my media things, don't you?
Yes, I know. Walubiri. UPC man, Walubiri, where did it go? I had all your numbers. I don't know. I don't know whether Jim Akena came and deleted my numbers.
Somebody deleted my numbers. No, I don't have them immediately now because I'm just restoring my numbers. But I'll get. Let me see. What be his number here? No, none of the numbers are saved here.
I'm also looking for the number. I don't see. Okay, maybe my producer will try to help me to get those numbers.
Yeah, Walubiri is here. Walubiri is here.
Walubiri? Okay, give it to me. Peter Walubiri. Jim Akena, you don't have. I'm sorry, Olarotono, you don't have.
No, I think from the time my number got deleted, I did not recover it. Am I allowed to eat something?
No.
On air?
No, you will eat after.
Okay.
We are about to finish our show.
Okay, but okay.
You can be taking tea.
Can be taking tea.
He has made it busy. He has made the phone busy. I think now many journalists are getting the opinion. They're suspicious. They're suspicious of what. Anyway, as we.
Are you saying I'm the only politician who's available to talk to you guys?
I think so. You are a very nice guy. You are friendly to the media.
I've got nothing to hide. I'm Milton Obote's boy. I'm Milton Obote's boy. Obote believed.
Some people sometimes don't want to talk to the media. They think we media. They say we are Ugambo people.
Well, if you have nothing to hide, Obote said, "What concerns all must be discussed by all." But you see people anyway here. Okay.
So now, as we wind up this show, Comrade Joseph Ochieno, this disagreement in UPC, all the conflicts surrounding leadership, the entanglement there, what is the cause of this? Are you people also fighting for resources?
Yeah, I get.
Is it about money? Because when you sit in that presidency, I think I am told that you control the Milton Obote Foundation funds and so on, the rent at the building, UPC building and so on. Are you guys also fighting for money or you're fighting for leadership?
I think that's a very important question, and I want you guys to continue not only asking, but interrogating those questions. In my case, I haven't been able to have the opportunity to sit on the former chair of the presidency, but I can tell you that one of the reasons why I'm not yet a leader is because some people know that an Ochieno presidency would not tolerate indiscipline, would seek constitutionalism, would seek democratic accountability, would seek financial accountability within the party first, and would make sure that anything that brings the party into disrepute is not acceptable. That people know of Ochieno, and there are many people who would find that extremely uncomfortable. Number two, that an Ochieno presidency would work with Milton Obote Foundation, which is our symbiotic relationship maintained, that the chairman of the foundation or chairperson of the foundation and the president of the party are brethren, sister's relationship in which we have a common and mutually common interest, and that is serving the values of Uganda People's Congress and the principles on which the foundation was founded and nothing else. So people know that, and some people sometimes are rather uncomfortable about that. Now, that said, aspects of this battle is quite clearly true that it's stressed to people who would like to control the foundation financially, and people who like to use the foundation's financial muscle to politically influence whatever they do. So their personal interests, their political interests, and indeed their economic interests with the foundation. In fact, unfortunately, and in contradiction, Milton Obote, who was the founding president of the party and founding permanent president of the foundation, a chairperson, wrote and guided in a very definitive way at the time when I was heading the external bureau in the party in UK, that whereas the two organizations are mini twins, the party leader worthy of a name should not be mad about the foundation. And I know that is always a very emotive thing that Jim McKenna's and others sometimes have used, that although the foundation's job is to support us fully, including giving us a permanent address, which we have. I call it giving it because it's basically a formality, but because the property belongs to us politically, but legally we're two good to relationships. The president, any president of Uganda People's Congress should be able to look for alternative resources through membership subscription, donations, friends, and other innovative ways to raise funds for the party. Obote said that very definitively. It was interesting coming from Milton Obote, and at that time Obote was trying to tell off James Ranyarare, who was then our leader here in Kampala, sort of like leave the leaders of the foundation alone. Although the leaders of the foundation, we knew they're not doing very well financially, including financial accountability. In fact, they're doing terribly in even supporting my president then in exile. Some of us once in a while, oh yes.
The Milton Obote Foundation back in Kampala.
Milton Obote Foundation did not treat my president well when my president was in exile. He's
their own foundation.
Well, you can call it the foundation fund. Yes, that's right.
Milton Obote Foundation, it's his.
It is genuinely very sad. And for the record, and it's part of maybe some of the things that has continued. Sometimes they
were not treating it back in Lusaka, Zambia. The man would run short of food, accommodation, medical, fuel, because his foundation back in Kampala was not very supportive.
Yeah. Accommodation in Lusaka was fully provided by the Zambian government. But
Kenneth Kaunda,
steadily from Kaunda to all governments, Obote had a property, and he did not have to pay rent. But
he had the property in Zambia.
I mean, no, the property given to him, accommodation given to him by Zambian government. So that is on the record. But including basic maintenance of that property, the Zambian government did very little. Unlike the Nyerere time in Zambia, where it was generally very, very good. But we thank the Zambian people. We thank the Zambian government. I personally will always ever be grateful to them with whatever they did, because they had no obligation to us. And they had no obligation to Milton Obote, except for the fact that Milton Obote was a refugee. And for me, as a refugee scholar, I know that governments have got obligations to support refugees. But in this case, is also a former president. So they did that. But beyond that, from the day-to-day eating to medicals and things like that, Milton Obote suffered in Zambia, and I am a witness. That's one of the reasons why sometimes when we're having these conversations and I look back to how people are playing politics with my party and my president, and people playing politics and dining and playing around resources with people who created the mess in which we are as a country, and created the mess in which Milton Obote suffered and died miserably in Zambia, I take it very personally. I
see you're a hungry man. Yeah. You're an angry man.
I'm not an angry man. I'm a very passionate man when it comes to that. Because I also believe...
when you're speaking about Milton Obote, your eyes change. Even your facial expression changes.
He's the most fantastic leader this country's had. I think Uganda will be very lucky to have another person with caliber, integrity, commitment, dedication, vision, dream, and depth of intellect and selflessness as Milton Obote. I pray that happens in my lifetime.
It has already happened in your lifetime. We have had a fantastic president for the last 40 years. president that even allowed you to return here.
It's not about allowing. Had Milton Obote governed this country for only 20 years, this place would be special Africa, the heaven of Africa. Uganda, the Pearl of Africa, would today be the heaven of Africa. Half of it. But 40 years has been 40 years of NRA destruction of what is good for.
But let's go back.
Yeah.
It's very saddening to learn that Milton Obote, the very foundation named after him, because they recognize his contribution, when he was sick and in need of help from Lusaka, Zambia, these guys were here eating and dining and winning in his money. So I think Jim Ochieno maybe have Jim Ochieno family and him as a person, and I think his mother, the fantastic Maria Karule, I think they have a point when today they come here and start fighting for their better share.
No, I need to clarify this. The foundation is not a personal property, and it was not passed to Milton Obote.
But there is a reason why it is Milton Obote Foundation,
let me tell
not
you this.
UPC Foundation.
No. It was a name. Milton Obote is the brain and lead brain for this thing.
Exactly,
and he deserves more than what he got.
That's the point I'm making.
He deserves more than what he got. But that said, the foundation was not personal to him. By the way, as his permanent spokesperson, the position I take today and what I'm telling you is exactly what he would be saying from heaven. So Obote would not like to associate the foundation with him personally, but absolutely fully with the party and the object for which it was founded. And all, by the way, all the peoples of Uganda. The social programs of the foundation, education, health, and social kind of stuff, as a political foundation, was for all the people of Uganda, not for members of Uganda People's Congress. You know, so that's the important thing. Number two, the fact that then you come and the foundation was founded as it were like that. The irregularities there is neither here nor there. You deal with it formally through its governance structures, and you deal with it politically as a political party. Now, there are some people, you know, who today think and suggest that the foundation is quite hostile to the party, but no. Foundation leaders in the recent times simply said that they are not going to support an illegality. So what has happened was, once Jimmy chased away Olaro Tunu from Uganda House and assumed the leadership of the party illegally, the foundation people have simply said that, look, you know, they're not going to support somebody who is not the legal president of the Uganda People's Congress. That is all that they did.
Wait a minute. Has the foundation been funding Jim Ochieno?
No, except for continued use of Uganda House, the 6th floor.
Other than that, nothing else? Nothing
else.
Had the foundation been helping and funding other previous presidents like Olaro Tunu?
Operations, yes.
Operations?
Yes. So
when Jim Ochieno came in, they cut the funding?
No, because
apart from the office that he occupied?
Because Jim Ochieno did not come in legally.
Oh.
Jim Ochieno did not come in legally. The foundation, for the record, supports Peter Walubiri, and that's why I keep on asking, where is Walubiri today? So the foundation...
The foundation supports Peter Walubiri?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he was legally declared leader of the party by the courts, which is a fair observation. My concern is from the time Walubiri declared himself until today. I don't know what Walubiri did, which would give him entitlement for even a penny for Uganda People's Congress. However, Walubiri is also conflicted, and I think it's fair for the viewers and fair for the likes of Jimmy. Walubiri is the chair of the trustees of Milton Obote Foundation.
Oh, he's a member, he's a chair.
Yes. So
he could have used that power to maneuver.
No, he definitely did.
Oh.
And that's a fact. But the point is...
he misused his power as a chair of the trustees.
But whatever the Walubiris were doing and whatever the foundation was doing, you know, it does not justify what Jimmy did to breach the party constitution. I've also had some of Jimmy's, and I mean, I'll keep on saying this, Jimmy's relationship with Mr. Museveni, it has been argued somewhere that Jimmy decided to go to Museveni because the foundation was not giving him money. I don't see how that can be justified.
No, if he is broke and there's somebody willing to fund, why not try there?
Is that how Pan-Africans operate?
No, not me.
You want to operate like Museveni, who claims the Pan-Africanist, who claims anti-imperialist, and then he goes and takes dubious crooked money from tiny Rollins to run their own things.
Apart from that, let me also show you Museveni's trickery ways. Museveni says Pan-Africanism is the number one pillar of NRM. Pillars. However, Museveni goes ahead and okays 57 billion to political parties, and he okays 0 shillings for Pan-Africanism. We people who have been promoting Pan-Africanism have never received any single support from the state, whose primary pillar is Pan-Africanism. But he funds political parties. In other words, Museveni's government puts 0 shillings in promoting Pan-Africanism. But if it was there, I would be one of those that
do you know, Andrew?
But
you
he funds political parties. Now, political parties are further killing the tenets, the principles of humanity and Pan-Africanism, but they are the ones he's funding. Instead of funding Pan-Africanism, he's funding political parties to further kill even the moral fiber of society. So I don't understand. If you say this is my favorite child, but then he sleeps hungry and you give the neighbor food, do you love this child? Anyway.
Let me tell you this. A future UPC government would ban
political parties.
The idea that poor Ugandan peasants who can't afford basic medics should fund
the political parties,
political party and elites.
I have argued that
over dubious money. It would stop it immediately. Number one, but number two, I think funding political parties is not as criminal. Yeah, is not as criminal as funding Pineti. Funding political parties is not as criminal as funding some woman in a Tiak Sugar. Funding political parties is not as criminal as giving money to a foreign company called Rocco. So there are things that Mr. Museveni has done which are actually criminal as far as Ugandan interests from an African perspective is. And I don't know what explanation Mr. Museveni would give that to any Pan-Africanist forum. But that said also, I was genuinely shocked that
take some coffee, my
fantastic
brother,
agencies,
as you get shocked.
Fantastic agencies like yours.
Coffee. Is there some coffee?
Yeah, I do. Thank you.
As you get shocked, take some coffee. Before we went into that, you were explaining something about the leadership of UPC, the foundation, and the connectivity between the foundation and Peter Warubiri. So now, I want to ask you, with now this ruling, you didn't answer this question correctly or more satisfactorily. Let me ask you again. What's the future of UPC with this ruling now?
Oh yeah. I don't think I gave you an answer that is not accurate. I simply was saying that this ruling is not a panacea to our future. This ruling breaks G. McKenna's grip in a little, yes, and exposes him further. And it's also important him saying that is not going to appeal this, meaning that whatever tricks he has, it has lowered his ego a little bit. But that said, the ruling that is important and that we must wait for very urgently is a ruling is the one which
your case.
My case, which has taken ages, and that ruling I hope is declares. Issues a declaration that I'm president, and we shall have a party president, and issues a permanent injunction against Jimmy, and we shall pick on from there and work together and regroup. But whatever the case, UPC is an idea that cannot die. Whatever the case, and however long it takes. And I think, Machali, you were talking about, it takes me back to a point that maybe I did not address very conclusively when you talk about Museveni and the compromise of political party leaders. Where Jimmy's and the assumption about his leadership with World-UPC. Museveni tried us during the Cicilo World reign, and it failed. Museveni tried us, and he sent some of his spies to UK, where some of us were, and it failed. Museveni tried us by working with the DP and the Okelos to overthrow the UPC government, but it failed. Museveni tried us by going to Luwero to try and break people's necks down there, using Gaddafi, whom you call a Pan-Africanist, but for me, I think he was effectively support of terrorism, because he fought against the democratically elected government of Uganda simply because his friend, Gaddafi's friend Idi Amin, had been defeated. And his friend, whom he tried to send soldiers to support against Ugandan forces with Tanzanian liberators, were humiliated. By the way, that's why Gaddafi stuck with Museveni. And Museveni the other day said, "Oh, this is a homegrown thing with 27 guns." Nonsense. You see the clip doing around where Museveni concedes. He came, went to Nairobi, got the Gaddafi gave him guns, and then they went via Burundi. Which tells you also that once the guns started coming via Burundi, it's not surprising that once in a while roadblocks coming from the other corners of Burundi were legitimate roadblocks of the democratic-led government, knowing very well that the guns were coming in from Gaddafi. So Gaddafi is not a good example of Pan-Africanism. Although what he represented, in a broader sense, is fair, but he's not necessarily Mr. Neat. Now, but back to UPC, that is how much these internal contradictions are taking place, meaning from Museveni and other forces. The same with Idi Amin. Idi Amin was used by the Israelis to get rid of Milton Obote, because Milton Obote was a Pan-Africanist threat together with Julius Nyerere, Kenneth Kaunda, and Nkrumah, whom they had deposed much earlier. So where are we? As a political party built on foundations and ideals of nationalism and national independence, the African personality and identity, we shall overcome this. I told you the other people have got factions. For me, I represent the party's interest. I believe that we shall return the party to constitutionalism, and I believe that we shall bring the party back to the values of the party, which is not about the pocket change that you share with dubious people in power or anybody else who feeds you, but rather the resources that we build around ourselves as members, our resources, the foundation and everything else, and our genuine friends openly. And then I take this country forward. When I look at the other political organizations that are around town, I don't know anybody who can challenge us politically in terms of solidity. Yes, we've suffered. Yes, we are at the moment not as strong as we are. But once we're able to sort out the leadership, we shall go up there. It's Milton Obote who said that the best way to kill a snake is to cut off his head. So these NRA guys have tried their level best to disorganize our heads. So we've been headless, to be quite fair, in the last 10 years. So we can see how bad it is.
But I think they have succeeded, because are you sure Jim McKenna still has his head and the better among his wife?
I don't know. So in the event that we're able to sort out this head thing, we shall be delivering to the people of Uganda what we did at Obote 1 and Obote 2, and what we promise we will do for the young people of this country as the future.
Thank you. Comrade Joseph Ochieno, 1 minute, the last point. What are you going to do if Jimmy Akena clings onto power?
I think it's now increasingly more difficult for Jimmy to cling onto power than it was 2 weeks ago. I think we shall continue pushing Jimmy to come to his senses. I'm going to be having conversations with other friends and other colleagues to be able to persuade Jimmy to see common sense. I'll be seeking to persuade Jimmy that common sense should prevail, for him to see that whatever he's doing is hurting his image, hurting his name, hurting his family, hurting my president, who is his father in heaven. Dr. Obote simply does not like what is happening in this country and what's happening in this party, and definitely what is happening as a net and the net contributed by his son. So Jimmy should be able to review that and work with us so that we're able to find a quick and urgent solution.
In your understanding, 1 minute again, what do you think his meeting in Konakamding plans to do for UPC's future? What do you read from that meeting?
I don't see anything about UPC's future. I see a possibility of an exit as a last resort, a good exit. I hope it is that. But number two, most importantly, I think Jimmy is trying to find a way of continuing to cling on to the leadership of the party. And I think he's trying to go to Kamdini and then possibly inject the membership of the party at a delegates conference, as he calls it, and persuade them to either possibly amend the constitution to keep it going there, or maybe possibly, I'm talking as an analyst, possibly to say that, look, we allow you to be the party presidential candidate at the next election. Of course, these are options, party presidential candidate, and then regardless of whatever happens, then you can exit from there. Whatever it is, I think Kamdini is in bad taste. But in any case, it's early days, it's Wednesday, so we don't even know if Kamdini will happen. His Secretary General, whom he sacked this morning, Freddie Bill, was saying they're prepared to come.
Wait a minute. He has sacked Freddie Bill.
Freddie Bill is sacked. 3 of the 4 members of the commission are sacked. And so I don't know who's going to go to Kamdini. I know many members and I know leaders, including from my Tororo, who say they're not going to participate in anything. So I don't know which delegates are going to Kamdini. So once in a while, they used to say that some delegates conferences which take place in Kampala, they pick people from Chikubo. So I don't know where and if this is going to be a purely genuine delegates of Uganda Post Congress.
And on that note, my comrade, my elder brother, Joseph Ochieno, an elder from the UPC leadership, a de facto president of UPC, he told me he won the presidency.
I did.
But he was illegally and forcefully ejected by Jim Akena, being helped by the forces within the state, he claims. But now, yesterday, Jim Akena was saying, actually, the problems we are facing in UPC is President Museveni. But Joseph Ochieno is saying, actually, Jim Akena is in power because of President Museveni. So I don't know who is who. Andrew Irumba Katsabe is my name, and this is Andrew Irumba Live Show. Thank you so much, Mr. Joseph Ochieno. Thank you.
Pan-Africans ever.
30th of August 2025 at Fair Hotel, the ICE Pan-African Pyramid Global Awards. I say now. Join us on the ICE Pan-African Pyramid Global Awards 2025 and 11th Anniversary Bonfire Dinner, recognizing and awarding Pan-Africans who selflessly fought and defended the rights and freedoms of the black race globally. On 30th August 2025 at Fair Hotel from 2 p.m. Dress code, strictly pub t-shirts or traditional stroke African wear. Theme, One Africa, One Passport. United States of Africa, USA. Book your dinner card now. Table for 8, 3 million. Platinum, 1 million. Gold, 500K. Silver, 400K. Bronze, 150K. Call 0757 342317 or 0782 342317 to book your dinner card online now. Umuntu ngumuntu ngabantu. I am because we are. Come, let's rekindle our roots. Africa, don't agonize, organize. Powered by Fairway Hotel, NBS TV, Afro Mobile, Luparelia Foundation, JJK, The Spy Uganda, Detective UG.